Oh hey, it's Wes. And alright guys, I've got a bone to pick with you. In a previous video, I tested pretty much every FZ100 battery charger I could find. And I came to the conclusion that this, the Nightcore, was pretty much the best. It was fast, worked well, and was a decent value. I also talked about this RAVPower charger. And I said it was slow, very slow. Very cheap though. But it wasn't my recommendation. I also said I hadn't finished fully testing these batteries to say whether or not I could recommend them. But you know what happened? Through my affiliate links, people bought way more of these RAVPower chargers with batteries than the Nightcore charger. I don't know, guys. But it is time for me to tell you my thoughts on the RAVPower replacement batteries. Now these batteries are not the first generation, they are the second generation, what is called fully decoded. So these batteries supposedly work 100% compatible with the Sony bodies. The previous ones would pop up a message on the screen saying, I can't trust these, I can't use these, won't show you battery gauge. These ones, however, work just handy dandy. At least initially. So, as with any battery, things can kind of go sideways after you've fully used it about 8 to 12 charges. I usually say about 10. I'm over 10 charges on these now, closer to 15 to 20, and they are starting to behave very oddly. On my A9, all of a sudden, I don't know why this has changed, it is popping up the I cannot trust this battery to work in this camera anymore, and then it takes away your battery percentage. Still works fine in the A7 Mark III. I don't know what's going on there. Also, just the battery percentage level, even when you are using it normally and the camera thinks it's fine, I guess the camera was right, the battery level is highly unpredictable. It'll stay rock solid in the high 90s for a while, and then it'll drop down to weird levels, and in your last like 30% it will plummet very quickly unexpectedly. Now I thought maybe just the capacity was going bad with these compared to a regular Sony battery. I mean, all my regular Sony batteries are pretty long in the tooth now. I've had most of them since the A9 came out over 2 years ago. Been using them hard ever since then. And so I tested that using this handy dandy Nightcore charger, which lets you measure how much charge has actually gone into the battery. And according to the Nightcore, I'd put around 1600 milliamps into these batteries. They're rated for 2000, but it's old, that's fine. Which seems like a decent amount, honestly. And then I measured my oldest Sony battery, which, as far as I can tell, gives me better battery life than this RAVPower. Only came in at between 1000 and 1200, my two oldest batteries. In theory, that's just over half the battery life of this RAVPower battery. So, I don't know guys, especially when I'm doing video and high drain stuff, I can't really trust these batteries anymore. I really only use them for short family shoots and things that aren't super important when I have another battery in my pocket. I just don't recommend them. Now, if you're just a hobbyist photographer and battery life isn't like super important to you, or say you're not going to be draining these very quickly and you're not going to be landing on 15 to 30 charge cycles all that quickly, these batteries might be just fine for you. But honestly, next time, I'm just going to be getting the regular old, kind of overpriced Sony FZ100 batteries. They're so much more reliable. These ones are probably in the realm of about 40 to 60 charge cycles now, and the battery percentage works great. They're still predictable, they're still solid, they don't do anything unexpected, and they don't blink this error. So once again, I don't really recommend this RAVPower charger unless you're not into important critical work. You just need a battery that turns the camera on. Again, I recommend the real, genuine Sony batteries, and either the Sony charger that comes with your camera, or one of the chargers that I recommend, again, in that video. There's a link to the video in the description, there's a link to these things in the description. You'd better not go back down there and buy more of these guys. Boy, I gotta. That's too much. Do whatever you want. But, in any case, until next time, keep your batteries charged, but not too charged, and go take some photos.